Many NBA players think Stephen Curry should be honored alongside the league of greatest players including Magic, LeBron, Kareem, and Jordan. More than any of these superstars, Curry has undoubtedly transformed the game. With his extraordinary skill sets, it's unlikely that anyone will ever be able to replicate his special ability. Some of the legends had great things to tell about Steph Curry. What does Stephen Curry mean to NBA veteran Gilbert Arenas? Gilbert, a three-time NBA Old standout and former standout for the Washington Wizards, recently discussed the NBA players that are the hardest to guard. When asked about his experience defending players like Stephen Curry, Arenas stated he wouldn't want to guard Steph. Speaking on how Al would ultimately give up the ball, Arenas mentioned how Stephen Curry never stopped, not even after he made a pass. On the October 19th episode of Gil's Arena, Arenas concluded that Steph was by far the hardest player to guard after comparing him to players like Kyrie Irving and Al. Gilbert Arenas says it's really hard to guard Stephen Curry. Arenas primarily discussed Curry's give-and-go style of play. Steph can shoot from anywhere, has excellent hands, and is a super passer. In addition, he tries to complete moves even after passing the ball, never stopping. Arenas asserted that he had experience defending players like Allen Iverson and Kyrie Irving, whom he had faced during his peak. He asserted that Steph could not breathe every time the player passed the ball. But in the case of Al, he could. I've protected Al. I have no desire to protect Steph. He had the ball with Al, but you would say, thank you, Lord Jesus, if he gave it up. There is never any rest. Steph is there. He walks away after passing it. It's similar to defending both Rick Hamilton and Al simultaneously. And it doesn't work like his first year when I had to turn it off and after he gave me 20-something. I'm not holding that one back. I'm not going to guard that one. Because of his continual movement, Curry was able to score more than 20 points in his debut campaign versus Arenas. The 41-year-old simply left after that and stopped trying to protect him. Arenas likened the Curry to a cross between Richard Hamilton and Iverson. What does Paul George and Michael Jordan have to say about Stephen Curry? Paul George gives Steph Curry an amazing high praise. Paul George of LA Clippers thinks Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors is the greatest of all time. The superstar from the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, has unquestionably altered basketball. Few players have ever had the same impact on the NBA as Curry has, and this impact is frequently mentioned while debating Curry's ranking among all-time greats. A recent episode of Wave Sports and Entertainment's podcast P-Feature LA Clippers played Paul George discussing the influence of Curry on the game. "You've got a goat to me if the league changed because of you," George replied. But Steph, the threes being shot, the range of people shooting threes, Steph transcends the game. Because so many of the game's legends have left their mark, George thinks there are several NBA GOATs. George mentioned Curry in the interview, and he said he's among the greatest of all time because of his career record and overall influence. There are some varying perspectives on GOAT debates, and some will undoubtedly argue against George's suggestion that multiple players be included in that discussion. Yet, there is no disputing that Steph Curry has altered the nature of the game of basketball. Curry is one of the all-time great players and the greatest shooters in basketball history. His influence on the game is immeasurable. Paul George holds a great deal of respect for Steph Curry, having faced off against the Warriors star for many years. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan said that Johnson was easily the greatest point guard of all time in a text message to a ESPN Stephen A. Smith. Jordan claimed that Johnson had an advantage over Curry because of the manner he routinely recorded double-doubles. Jordan wrote, "Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Magic Johnson invented the triple-double, but his movement has created numerous shots for his teammates, and he is a career 45% three-point shooter. Though not truly invented, it makes its influence on the game more apparent. To be honest, it's a point guard stat. The best was Magic. Curry still has time to improve his own background. Why does LeBron James think Steph Curry is a basketball player of a lifetime? Steph Curry is praised by Lakers star LeBron James by as one-in-a-lifetime basketball player. LeBron James of Los Angeles Lakers, who's closing in on the record of the most three-pointers made in NBA history, complimented Stephen Curry, the guard for the Golden State Warriors. "We're all witnesses to what Stephen Curry has done in his career and the way he has changed the game," James stated to reporters. "He is a once-in-a-lifetime basketball player. The most astounding thing about the approaching record-breaking event is how fast the 33-year-old Curry rose to the top of the rankings. Allen's Hall of Fame career include 1,300 regular season games played, Curry has only made 786 games. Because of the kind of person he's outside of the court, James expressed his happiness for his long-standing friendly rival. More importantly, just a great dude, stated the man. I wish I could congratulate him in person. Among the players in our league, I'll be the one to socially congratulate him. I know Ray, so pay attention. I'm aware of the effort he invested in it, and I'm sure that Ray is happy that Steph is the one person he has to let break his record. After all, he's a man of great gratitude. Quite the feat. From 2015 to 18, James and Curry squared off in 4 straight NBA Finals. In 3 of those meetings, the Warriors defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers, but there is obviously no ill will between the 2 greatest players in the league history. As the record prepares to change hands tonight or in the upcoming days, Allen also gave Curry the traditional pat on his back. He's on a level he made for himself, Allen said to NBA.com's Sean Powell. He did a fantastic job. Additionally, he is a really wonderful person and you support people who are like that. He's receiving all that is rightfully his. Despite the fact that the game has evolved over time to rely much more on three-point shooting, Curry's achievement remains unaffected. Despite playing in a modern playstyle, he should be able to set a standard that will be difficult for all present and future players to match with his rate of adding to the total 3.8 threes per game at 43.2% shooting efficiency for his career. Even though NBA legends and players have spoken great things about Steph Curry, why are some players against Steph Curry being called a legend? In order to be regarded as one of the greatest of all-time NBA players, a player must rank among the best both individually and collectively. Despite all of his accomplishments, Steph Curry only contributes to one area when compared to the best players: the individual. The team's talent pool has been exploited by several Curry detractors to undermine his chances of ranking among the best. In actuality, Curry's team accomplishments pale in comparison to those of the greats like Michael Jordan and his all-time great Chicago Bulls team, even though excellent players do build fantastic teams. Although the Warrior point guard and his squad surpassed the team record for most wins in a season, 73-9, his championship title victories pale in comparison to those of players like Michael Jordan. The Golden State Warriors were not the only most accomplished team of the previous 10 years, but they were also the most dominant team of 2010s. The Warriors featured all-star players like Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins, and three-point shooting master Klay Thompson during their 5-year run in the championship series. But prior to Durant's arrival, Curry had already defeated LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers in a championship game and won another. The Warriors then fully established their dominating reign until Durant signed a contract. The team went on to win 2 consecutive champions, but Durant collecting MVP honors both times. Many still think that if he didn't have the star quality surrounding him, he would just be an ordinary player despite all of his ability. Despite having appeared in 5 championship finals and won 3 of them, the 3-time NBA champions has never received a finals trophy. Because of the elite players on the Warriors team, the point guard has frequently been mocked for not being a clutch player. His numbers haven't done much to support this claim. What do you think about the statement made by NBA greats about Stephen Curry? How do you feel about Stephen Curry? Do share your views on this in the comments section. For more interesting stories and thoughts, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!